Racing enthusiasts, are you ready to take your sim racing experience to the next level? Look no further because 29 Graphics has got you covered. Introducing 29 Graphics, the premier provider of high-quality sim racing wraps. Whether you're a professional racer or weekend warrior, our custom design wraps will make your car stand out from the competition. 29 Graphics is now the official graphics design partner of Saturday Night Racing League.
It's a big diamond water might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, he put him in the wall, they're gonna crash! They both crash!
Contact 29 Graphics on their Discord or the link in the video description.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
What's up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back, he's gonna send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're gonna Joshua Banks is gonna win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to B-Speed and subscribe to them because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Lap traffic out of the way. It's between these two. They're even for the white flag lap.
This race still very undecided.
Bradley had the lift. Big run for McWard. This is going to be his chance.
They're running out of time, and they know it. Horsepower at their feet.
That was a huge run for Bradley. He got back the advantage, but here comes a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, they put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash. Here comes Ray Massey. Ray Massey's going to win it.
Here we are again for another production of Saturday Night Racing. The Cup Series is here for week number 3 at a track that is unique in all its own. A lot of history here since 1909, and live from the virtual Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it's the Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, up here in the booth and lead production. Connor Horn will be joining us momentarily, a little bit behind schedule to get up here in the booth. But of course, as always, we have a lot to cover. We have the points that are going to come up on your screen right away. It's Joshua Banks the guy representing here for the Cup Series. He sponsored the league. Now he's leading it. First time getting the points. He had a chance last season to get a championship, but he welcomed new life into the world. Wasn't able to make the last week. And here he is leading the points, picking up right where he left off. Mark Whitley, 6 points out. You can go back to the 5th position, only 21 points separating him and Matthew Rafford. Eddie Trejo down there in 10th spot. Logan Threlkeld in the top 10. Then we have Brian Chambliss and Alex Bell on that other side of the bracket. Alex Bell off to a rough start. We know he had a lot of success last season, but hasn't had the first 2 races since Dover. And Dover not good to him as well. So Alex Bell looking to try to turn his season around as we get set to take it trackside here just momentarily. Race analysis coming up on your screen. 80 laps here tonight. Pit road speed limit 55 miles per hour. 4 tire sets available with 3 green, white checkered attempts. 80% fuel in these machines. Finally, we take a look at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Like I said, since August 12th of 1909, this place has been putting on races. One of the very first to do so. It was paved with over 3 million bricks back in the day, and still some of those existing. As you cross the start-finish line, you can see a bit of that history. Who's going to get to kiss those bricks here tonight as we get set for our long race here at Indy? But with that, we get to take it trackside. Ben Bafford is going to start on the pole here tonight. Well, here he is on the front row with a 54.482. That's about as fast as you can get around this place without having draft. So the 14 up on the pole for the first time this season. Mark Whitley is going to start in the 77 to his outside. Row number 2 goes to Joseph McWhorter, last season's champion, with Chad Klinger, last season's last race winner in the 09. And then it's Alex Bell, AJ Stravato for row number 3. Row number 4, Jeremy Miller, Seth Hatchell. And rounding out your top 10, it's the defending first season champion, Jeff Wright, who was in the booth just a moment ago, and V-Speed's very own Morgan Cook in 10th. Eric Hutton will start in 11th position with Joshua Banks in 12th. 13th, Angelo Horonis with Chuck Sweeting in 14th. Good shot there of the bricks that these guys are looking forward to kissing. Reggie Ortega in 15th position. Ryan Carwile in 16th. 17th, Alec Martinez, another V-Speed representative out there tonight. Casey Lakatos to his outside. Noah Mahalski, who ran really successful there in the Challenger Series up until he got a little contact with Morgan Cook and ended up in the outside wall starting 19th. Philip Brewer 20th. 21st, Chris Hodges. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in 22nd. Caleb Weekly will start in 23rd. He had an excellent race there at Charlotte. Logan Threlkeld, another representative here in V-Speed. Excuse me. Had a little tickle in my throat there. Brian Chambliss, Dakota Floyd, 25th, 26th, 27th, Bryce Shoemaker, Eddie Trejo. 27th and 28th there. Stephon Davis, Kyle Peacock, 29th and 30th. A lot of cars out here. 43-car field. Mark McFadden, Brian Hennings, Jerry Bergeron, Joe Spinelli, Bobby Patrica, Max Cost, Brandon Wallace, Keith Shoemaker, Michael Jones, Benjamin Richards for that top 40. And it's Matthew Rappert, Ray Massey, and Austin Belkey. And we just lost connection with the session. We're back. There we go. All right, looks like we're going to get this thing underway. And an EOL penalty puts the number 14 to the back of the field. We're live and racing from Indianapolis. lap number 1, Joseph McWhorter. He's going to gain 2 spots and take it away from Mark Whitley. Actually, Whitley leads briefly there, but your pole sitter fell back, and then it looked like McWhorter gained that spot on the outside. Able to get back around to lead the first one. Alex Bell looking to turn his season around, fighting for second, into 3. Not able to do it. This track, very difficult to get to the inside and stay there. You're right on board with the number 15. A lot of work left to be done here. And a great start for this team to try to turn this whole season around. Oh, and a truck or car in the wall. That's the 50 of Lacatus. Looks like Angela Heronis also involved. Ray Massey maybe got a piece of it. And our first caution here on lap number 3. Oh, and dodging it to the outside. That was Chambliss, who won just a moment ago at Charlotte. Everyone else pretty much able to dodge this, but let's back it up one more time. Heronis was pinching down on Lacatus, and not a lot of room there. We'll go back and watch from the blimp camera. You see right here, Lacatus has already kind of lost the ground to the 29, but then the situation gets even worse. He gets back to the inside here. With like an early checkup there for the 29 Heronis, and then just nowhere else for the 50 to go. And Chambliss will ride on board with him here briefly. Able to miss it. Got a little touch with the wall, but pretty minimal damage there for the 9 at Chambliss, and that brings out our first yellow so far. So a little bit of a rough start here to this one, but I mean, with 43 cars out on the racetrack, it's very easy for that to happen. While we have a chance, let's see if we can bring up a driver up into the V-Speed booth. How about this guy right here? I think if we can find Jeremy Miller. Jeremy Miller, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Jeremy, you started in 7th. You've worked your way up 2 spots here in these brief 4 laps. How's the car feel out there so far? A little loose?
Yeah, I mean, we're a little free. I didn't really do anything there. Chad kind of had some contact with Alex, stacked everybody up, and then Ben taking EOL. That's what those 2 spots came from. But, you know, we're just sad that Casey wrecked. My bugaboo is out of the race, and I'm upset.
Yeah, we saw that contact there on the replay a couple different times. It looked like a pinch there in the corner, but really that's how you defend here at Indianapolis. You have to pinch a guy down. There's really no banking to help you get a run out of the exit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a single group racetrack. Not much we can do. It's going to be a track position race. I'm not very good here, so you'll see me going backwards.
We got to have some confidence here for the 30 team. I mean, you're up here in the top 5. You're running next to Jeff Wright, and if I know anything about racing, if you find yourself next to that guy, you're doing something right.
Yeah, I just hope he doesn't spin his tires on these restarts. He's been doing that in front of me for a few weeks over in another league, so if he does, we might not have to not cut him a break.
Ah, well, that's interesting. Maybe we'll see some fireworks from it. Jeremy, anybody you want to shout out while we have you up here?
Yeah, I want to shout out Connor not being here. I don't know if he wasn't supposed to be or if he's just not here, but usually he'd be on the roof while he's commentating and helping me, but obviously isn't here tonight. And then obviously all the guys at FBI.
We appreciate your time, and maybe Fat Boys Incorporated will get a victory here tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
Jeremy Miller in the number 30. We will have Connor Horn here momentarily. He did tell me that there was a slight delay. He's right about at that window of the 20 after 10. We'll have to wait and see if Connor is able to make it here, but shout out to everybody there, and Jeff Wright giving us some high praise for V Speed. I see your dear God there was shouting out to Michael Jones, quickly becoming one of my favorite sim racing broadcasts. Mara Frago, appreciate that. Thank you everybody that comes here and watches these broadcasts. And you know, you wouldn't believe it, but only 32% of the people that view these broadcasts are subscribed. We have tons of impressions. We have tons of people in and out. But if you hit that subscribe button, you'll get a notification and you'll never miss a single race. I mean, I say it every week. So make sure you do so. If you enjoy watching these broadcasts and you want to get alerts when we go live, and maybe you forgot that we're racing this week, or maybe there's a day that we're having a special event, which we've got something coming down the pipeline. I'm not going to release any details yet because I myself don't know, but there is going to be a very unique scenario at some point here within the next month. You can catch that as well, as I'm very much looking forward to that and what we have going on in the works. But top 10, well, it's not really changed hands too much. It's mostly the same drivers. Alec Martinez has worked his way up there, though. He is the biggest gainer here in the top 10. Jeff Wright matching him in the third spot, fourth position roughly, as we get set to go back green for the second time today. Full field of 43 cars. That's what it looks like. And I've personally been here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is a very big facility. If it takes 54 seconds to get around this racetrack, imagine how long it takes to walk the backstretch to get to where you're supposed to be. Got to meet Logan Threlkeld and Adam Baker, Seth Hatchell, and a few others while we were out here at this event, and I'm looking forward to having another instance to be there as we come out of turn 4. This is about where I was, but I was on the infield as we come down the front stretch for another restart. And it looks like Joseph McWhorter is electing to start on the outside. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Great restart there for McWhorter. Whitley just behind him. He's able to get clear. Through turns 1 and 2. Looks like we're going to stay green. Eric Hutton loses a spot here to Reggie Ortega for the time being. Cars deeper in the field. Looks like Michael Jones dives down to the bottom of the racetrack back here. He's still looking for a way to get around, and he will get clear of Stephon Davis. Back up front, though, they've single filed out. The first battle is for 7th position. Oh, and a little wiggle there from the 2 of Reggie Ortega. He'll go to the inside of Seth Hatchell down the front stretch. Quite able to get clear, but this battle for the 9th spot continues on out of the exit of 2. Hatchell's going to fight back on the outside. Now Eric Hutton going to try his hand in it, and we've got another car back here deep in the field. They're shuffling again, trying that Formula One line, the IndyCar line rather. Eddie Trejo side by side for the 21st position. Kyle Peacock. He'll get by on the outside. The 21 of Trejo up a position. We've got contact and dodging bullets here. The 03's around. Another caution here on lap 8, and that takes out Ryan Carwile. Bobby Patrica also involved. The 23 of Ray Massey. Broken down here on the inside. see if we can get a look at what happened. This is around the 25th position. This is aftermath here for the 23. This happens on and up in front of them, so we'll have to get a look at where the 03, but several cars collected. The 28 also involved. Patrika, Brandon Wallace, Michael Jones, Carlisle, Ray Massey, and the 03 of Noah Mahalski. So back it up one more time here. Take a look at it from the blimp camera. The big check up here. Mahalski is going to go to the outside. This is through 3, now into 4. And again, what we saw earlier, just too much of a pinch down there on the corner. Mahalski got into him, and the big check up there. Brian Hennings also gets a piece of this. On board with the 74 machine. So a few drivers coming down pit road to get some of this damage repaired. This gives us another chance to possibly pull a driver up into the V-Speed booth. I think we're gonna pull the 12 of Logan Threlkeld. He got around that, so we're gonna pull him up into the booth. Logan Threlkeld, it's Bradley Cooper up in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy, man?
I've got a copy.
All right, well, I told you you had to do it, so here's your chance. Let's see a chicken dance.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, very unique situation there with the chicken legs, so let's switch you over. You don't have the helmet on this time. We get to see your face, and please no zoom yet. You dodged a wreck there. You were deep in the field, but that's 2 of them now that you've had to get around.
Yeah, that's pretty much my game plan for this race, is just to dodge all of them as much as I can. You know, it's going to be like this for probably the first half of the race. Let half the field wreck out, really. But yeah, just survive. I'm not too good here, so if I can just stay in the race till the end, I'll be happy.
Well, you're top 10 in the points here in the Cup Series. I don't know if you were aware of that or not, but coming in here to tonight, this is one of the tracks that maybe you were thinking, not my best place. I'll come out here, make an appearance. Now you're playing a little conservative, but so far, you're back to where you started. What's the game plan for the next 70 laps?
Really, I'm going to watch the tires. I'm not taking it too hot into the corners or through it or anything. Fuel's obviously going to be a big factor here. It's about 28 laps per run, so with the cautions, of course, going to extend that. But tires is going to be the biggest thing, especially from way back here. You know, we got 4 sets over the wall, but it's going to take a while to really just conserve them until it makes sense.
Well, I know that chicken legs are a little difficult to work the throttle, so I admire your ability to do so. Anybody you'd like to shout out here while we double back up?
Probably just you guys, honestly, putting on the broadcast always, and you know, just here having fun. SNR puts on a good show every week. Glad my friends are here racing with me. Glad that I think my dad's watching, so thanks to everybody. You know, everybody watching.
Well, there you go. Logan Threlkeld, he's running in 23rd. Hopefully representing V-Speed up in the top 10 here before you know it. We'll see you maybe post-race as well.
Fingers crossed, Bradley.
So many people in this Discord, it is so difficult to find the place. We'll get you back there. There we go. Rolling for miles just to get to the proper location, but here we go. Joseph McWhorter on the front row with Mark Whitley. These two have had both restarts, all 3 restarts actually, this race. And recap up on your screen, McWhorter has been the control car for every single one of them here, as we have not had a lead change yet.
Hey, Bradley, you're not in the broadcast booth.
I'm not. Did I move myself?
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
move yourself.
You're not in the broadcast booth.
Awesome. I moved myself, Logan. Awesome. So many people to move. Here we go. We're getting back. We're not in the broadcast booth, he said. This is usually the time where I'm praying for Connor Horn to show up as we go back live and racing for the third time today. McWhorter with a big jump out of the restart zone. Bell following on the outside of Whitley into turn one. There's Jeff Wright peeking for third spot on the inside of Alex Bell. Remember, Bell has been in the third position all over the back bumper of the 77 of Whitley. A block down the backstretch, taking him all the way to the grass. They continue down. Doesn't lift and sends it into three. Let's go back on the replay here briefly. Right on board. Here's the nose camera. Trying to move. Down more. Down more. The 15 just continues to go down the racetrack. Now riding in the wake of the 77. They're side by side back here with Reggie Ortega. He'll go by. Trying to get around Chad Klinger, who has a little bit of left rear damage. Will come through. Contact with the 09. Caution's out. He locks it down. And another car off the racetrack. That's Matthew Radford, unrelated to this incident. Reggie Ortega, and it looks like Chad Klinger not going to be too happy with each other here. And that brings out another caution. Right there, you can see it. It just little error from the two, and Radford was sliding by there. Just came up a little too high into the 09, and the 09 really didn't have anywhere to go. On lap 13, we have our third yellow already. And it's been a rough start here from Indianapolis. The single groove racing has kind of doctored up some cautions, guys fighting hard for positions. So far, we've had 3 of those, which appears to be guys just kind of pinching and not giving very much room. Tight racing so far tonight. But with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors. More coverage is going to continue here on V-Speed right after this.
Racing enthusiasts, are you ready to take your sim racing experience to the next level? Look no further because 29 Graphics has got you covered. Introducing 29 Graphics, the premier provider of high-quality sim racing wraps. Whether you're a professional racer or weekend warrior, our custom design wraps will make your car stand out from the competition.
Great surgeons in the fire! Thanks,
29 Graphics is now the official graphics design partner of Saturday Night Racing League.
It's a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, he put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash.
Contact 29 Graphics on their Discord or the link in the video description.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
What's up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Mako Tool Supra.
Comes back. He's going to send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're going to Joshua Banks is going to win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to B-Speed and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Lap traffic out of the way. It's between these two. They're even for the white flag lap.
Back here live at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and not a good restart there for Joseph McWhorter. They almost split 3 wide as Jeff Wright gets a position. Already back to it. We've had a rocky start to this one. 3 cautions so far in the first 17 laps. Jeff Wright looking for the second spot on Mark Whitley. Trying to break that side draft, takes it all the way down to the bottom. The last caution had Reggie Ortega and Chad Klinger getting involved. We've had a few cars get involved already. The first of which was the 03 of Mahalski. Very tight here off of turn 4. Jeff Wright not able, actually out of turn 3, not able to clear. He's going to be even tighter through 4. They're going to be side by side down the front stretch. 2 of your series champions now first and second. The teammate on the outside trying to defend it. And almost some contact as they lean on each other. And now Jeff Wright is able to clear. Here comes Alec Martinez. Started back in 17th and is already up to 4th on the move here for the Combos 18. Go back here deeper in the field. There's Christopher Hodges. This is for the 26th position. Hodges very tight on the exit of the corner. Takes it all the way down to the bottom on the front stretch. He has Max Koss on the outside now. Alex Bell, who finds himself deep in this field after taking 4 tires there just a moment ago. No advantage really yet, and Chad Klinger, he came down pit road to get some of that damage repaired. Looks like he's back in action. And one of the benefits of this big racetrack is you can easily repair, and the 21's around. Morgan Cook's involved. The 21 of Eddie Trejo goes sideways down the backstretch and collects the 51. Still a lot of racing left to do here. Morgan Cook could definitely get that damage repaired. We'll have to wait and see. Let's take it back on the instant replay and find out what happened to the 51. Trejo gets turned by Chambliss, it looks like, and Cook just nowhere to go. And of course, the wheel looks like it took over. Heavy force feedback there. On board one more time. It looked like Morgan Cook was gonna miss that there briefly. Watch this wheel just get stuck to the left. There's Trejo, and we'll watch on board with Chambliss. But just full lock to the left here. Not really sure what caused that. It didn't look like a bad bump there. It didn't really look like a bad bump at all from the 9. That brings a lot of cars down pit road, electing to come in and get maybe 4 tire stops here. Got Threlkeld, Weekly, Brewer, Sweeting as well. Like Hodges, Chambliss. There's Klinger coming into his stall. The 03 of Bahalski. There's the 8 of Seth Hatchell also in. 14, your pole sitter, who had to start at the back end of this field, down and away. But Joseph McWhorter, Jeff Wright, all the way back to Dakota Floyd, who now works his way up into the top 10. He'll be restarting in 9th position here for this restart in the 57. So we have another opportunity to dial up a driver. Let's bring Joseph McWhorter up here into the booth. Joseph McWhorter, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Joseph, you've led every single lap so far, and no one's really contested you for the lead. But Jeff, right now, between you and your teammate here on this restart, you think that will help you maybe get the 77 to his inside here on this next one?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll be able to get Mark back around. And he was trying to help me out with getting back low, and it kind of messed him up a little bit. Honestly, I wish he would have just stayed a little bit on my quarter panel going into 1. I could have cleared him coming out of 1, but yeah, it's been a good race so far. Got lucky with Ben deciding to take that EOL challenge, so you know we're we're looking good right now. We just need to execute on pit road, not make any mistakes again, and put ourselves behind. We're really bad in points, and we need to focus on getting back to where we can compete for the chase right now. So I think we're doing a good job of that. If the caution falls the right way, we got a plan for pit stop, so we'll just see what happens.
Well, Joseph, you're the defending champion of Season 2 in the Cup Series. How does it feel coming in here knowing that you are a champion, you are one of the winners here at SNR? You add yourself to a very limited list of about 12 drivers.
Yeah, it feels really good. I mean, you know, getting the championship last season was a really big deal for me. I mean, you know, you guys get to see how emotional I was after that, and I was really hoping to fire off the right way this season, but it really hasn't. I mean, we've been wrecked in all 4 races, from the firecracker, the Clash, Daytona, and then last week. It's just not been our season so far, so I just really want to try and just come away with the top 5 and get pointed in the right direction.
Joseph McWhorter, anybody you'd like to shout out before we go back green?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody watching at home. My sponsors, Red Camel Racing, Harpoon Design, and Driven Motorsports, and hopefully we can talk to you guys at the end of the race.
There he is, Joseph McWhorter, defending champion, getting ready to go back green and lead some more laps. Take care, buddy. So there's your ticker on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see that we still have 42 cars. Morgan Cook parks it behind the wall tonight. We have a few other drivers that are out. Michael Jones, Ryan Carwile, Ray Massey, Casey Lakatos, and Angelo Horonis have all parked it behind the wall as well. And looks like Bobby Patrica maybe could come back out. Benjamin Richards, Brian Hennings at the tail end. Brian Hennings, the first car a lap down as we get set to go back green. McWhorter has had every control on these restarts. Looking to do so again as we crawl down that long front stretch. Lap 23 about to be underway. Here we go. And we've got problems on the front stretch, and that is not the place for that to happen. It's a parking lot. Here's an interesting shot in the entry of turn 1. And it goes south for a lot of cars. Mark McFadden loses control on the restart here. And that's what causes this chain reaction. Kyle Peacock. I think it'd be easier to name drivers that weren't involved in this. Let's go on board with a 13 of Caleb Weekly. How in the world did he not get destroyed on this? One more time. Oh, wow. I mean, I know he picked up damage from that, and it looks like Logan Threlkel gets destroyed on this. We gotta ask Caleb Weekly how he got through that. Weekly's gonna come down and get some damage repaired, so we'll take a moment here to allow him to get that done, but not even halfway through this race and off to a very rough start. The weekly. I'm sorry if I made you miss your pit stall there briefly. Trying to get a word with you on that restart. I mean, that was just chaos. The weekly, you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
We watched this. It looked like Mark McFadden maybe spun the tires, and Alec Martinez, Chad Klinger, a few cars check up in front of you. You're on and off the gas. We rode on board with you, just back and forth on the pedal, trying to sneak your way through that. You almost made it.
Yeah, it was really close. I don't know. Every time I thought that wreck was over, it wasn't over. And we got collected in that. We're pretty badly damaged. We're going to try to get it back out on the racetrack. Just not the day we needed for points, though.
Been a rocky start to this one. I know we have a lot of cars out here, but for the Cup Series, we went to Dover and had probably a solid 40, 50 lap run before we saw our first yellow. What's the difference between that and here tonight?
Indy's a track where if there's one problem, the track's really narrow, and a lot of people haven't raced here as much as they have Dover unless they're like an IndyCar person. So it's just a track that isn't as popular. So it's a difficult track. It's a very difficult track that people don't really realize is a difficult track. You know, all four corners are different, and you're trying to fit 43 cars on this track where there's really only one racing lane. So I think it's just a lot of people just don't realize how easy it is to create problems.
Oh, and with that, Caleb, I know you had some success in the race at Charlotte. You ran up in the top 5. And trying to claw your way up here into the top 5. I might be making pit road difficult for you, so before I let you go, anybody you want to shout out real quick?
Grandma Weekly, my teammates at Neon Auto, Jeff, and just everyone who makes this thing happen. You know, this is my favorite part of the week, and it just sucks that it didn't go the way that it has, and we've had a lot of bad luck, but, you know, it's a really highlight of my week this week.
Well, hopefully we can clean it up a little bit and get back to what you're used to, and maybe we'll see you back up there in the top 10, buddy.
Thanks, Brad.
An auto racing driver, Caleb Weekly, getting set to come back out on the racetrack as we're doubled back up. McWhorter, Wright, Whitley, Ortega, and Richards. Or Butcher, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, rather. Sorry about that. Dakota Floyd back to Seth Hatchell in 10th. So a lot of racing left to be done, but a few cars are out of this race, and I know that it's been a struggle for everybody that has started this thing out. Hopefully we can get back green flag racing. Maybe see a little stint of green flag pit stops, as we have narrowed this field down to about 26 cars. Green flag back out. Jeff Wright matching the pace, and a little wheel spin there with Ortega on the back bumper. This time we're going to be clean into one. Casey Licata is coming back out on the racetrack. This could be a factor here for these drivers in just a few laps. Licata, who got caught up in that very early incident trying to pick up some positions. He's currently scored in 41st, but stands to gain at least 10 spots. We have about 10 drivers out of this thing ahead of him. Side by side for second now. Jeff Wright, who was starting on the outside, didn't get the best restart. He's going to take the offense back to the 77 of Mark Whitley. Almost loose out of 2. Holds on to it, drives it back down into 3. Everyone up here in the top 5 is not pitted yet. Whitley puts a little block here on Jeff Wright. Wright's still going to peek to the inside in 3 and 4. He's trying to find his way around Mark Whitley, and it hasn't happened yet. Down that long front straightaway. McWhorter leads another one. Pulls the race lead out to 0.7 of a second. Looking for another battle on the racetrack. AJ Stravato just behind Dakota Floyd. This is for the 9th spot. Floyd makes a little mistake here on the exit of turn 2. That'll allow Stravato to the inside. We have contact just in front there between Whitley and Wright. More contact into 3. Really leaning hard on him. Lots and lots of contact through corner 3. And out of turn 4, Jeff Wright is going to be door-to-door with the 77 of Whitley. Patience wearing thin here on lap 30. Oh, boy. Whitley gets sent to the outside. Wright almost hits the wall. And a big checkup here for everyone from second on back. They were leaning on each other prior to this moment. Whitley gets sent to the outside wall. They carry on, though. 77 falls all the way back to about the 10th position. And Floyd gets into the wall on the exit of 2. Jeff Wright probably getting tired of being pinched into the corners. Ben Bafford, who started on the pole with speed, had his EOL back to the tail end of this field, is now up to 3rd. So how about that for Ben? He's tracking about a 10th faster than Jeff Wright and 0.5 faster than the guy behind him, but McWhorter, the fastest car on the racetrack with that clean air. Every single lap led so far for the 73 as he catches up slowly to Casey Lakatos. Jeff Wright under fire now. Look off the back end. Bafford gets around him in the entry of turn 1. Back that up really quickly. You'll see this dive to the inside by the 14. A lot of draft help here, and the slipstream allows that Ford Mustang to the inside. Alec Martinez, who was caught up in that earlier incident on that restart, he's on the rebound back to 17th, just behind Austin Belkey, winner in the Challenger Series last week in Iowa. Stephon Davis, Christopher Hodges, Keith Shoemaker rounding out the top 20. And it looks like we might be getting into one of those green flag stints. Shoemaker, heavy damage on that 43. So the racing continues to progress, and for Ben Baffert, it is 0.7 of a second. Last time by, he was 0.3 faster than McWhorter, and he is on the move. McWhorter has caught Casey Lakatos in that dirty air from that lap car, probably interfering with his line. Interfering with the pace. Stravato is going to look to the inside of Seth Hatchell. This is for the 5th position, top 5 possible for the 33. We'll stay on the inside through turn 2. Actually, the entry at turn 1. The big boost here from the 15 of Alex Bell. We got clusters of cars all over this racetrack. The tightest group is between 3rd. So we see another challenge back for the lead here. Looks like Ben Baffert's going to take it over. Reggie Ortega is electing to come down and pit on lap 34. New leader for the first time today. Your pole sitter, who took an EOL penalty, raced his way from the back of the field up to the front. Side by side back here, Reggie Ortega is down pit road, but Seth Hatchell, Eric Hutton were side by side down that backstretch. Hutton will gain a spot. He's up 5 now. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, how about that for 10 spots gained? 14 spots gained, actually. Started back in 22nd. Excellent drive as he'll come down pit road now. Just behind him, it looks like the 57 of Dakota Floyd will follow in on lap 36. So remember, some of these drivers didn't come down pit road. Ben Baffert did. He's on fresher tires than McWhorter and Jeff Wright, and that's why he's having such an easy time. The difference is about 15 laps on tires here. And remember, we've had a lot of cautions to start this thing out, so some of these drivers probably felt confident enough, but now that we've had a decent long green flag run of about 12, 13 laps, Baffert's starting to look powerful as he pulls out almost a full second over the 73. We're not saying that he didn't already have the speed, but this is going to trigger more and more cars to come down pit road. McWhorter locks it up a little bit there. Whitley a little sideways on the entry, but he'll get it woed up in time. And so teammates coming in for scheduled green flag pit stops. ATM Motorsports pitting together here on lap 37. Baffert's lead 2 seconds now. So you see side by side between Jeff Wright and AJ Stravato. Stravato on the offense now. Maybe saving his tires a little bit. We know the 33 is definitely fast. Everywhere we go. Saw a lot of him at Dover as well. Jeff Wright into the pits. The tire advantage from the 33. That triggers the 48 team to decide to call it and bring it down pit road. And so for a lot of these cars that had not pitted and stayed out during these cautions, they're praying a caution doesn't come out now because they'll be so far behind on this situation. However, it is a long racetrack. They have the chance to not go a lap down. However, you've got Dakota Floyd, who is 49 seconds back. He's at threat to go a lap down. He's probably praying for a yellow. There's quite a few guys that brought it down pit road that won't be in the top 10 that were in the top 10 previously. Alec Martinez gets around Eddie Trejo for the 6th spot. A lot of break there for the 18. Trejo almost gets back to the rear bumper again. Seth Hatchell, the next one in line for the top 5. All of these cars have elected to pit in your top 5. Alec Martinez, the longest on pit road with some of that damage repair. Eddie Trejo as well. Brian Chambliss, 42 seconds in the pit lane. 7.1. Looks like maybe a 2-tire stop here for Chambliss, but Bafford gets by the 44 of Brewer. He's going to put him another lap down. 3 laps down now for the 44. Brian Hennings is 2 laps down. Max Koss the first. Actually, it's Kyle Peacock is the first car a lap down as we approach lap number 40. So here it is. We're halfway through the race. Perfect opportunity to find those remote controls, those volume knobs. Anybody out there that has a sound bar, this is the perfect chance to test it out. Let's make the neighbors mad. Let's wake up your mom. And let's get loud. Presented by 29 Graphics. That was Get Loud, presented by 29 Graphics, and Ben Bafford continuing to lead these laps past the halfway point. These drivers on about 21 laps on this stint. AJ Stravado, 17 laps, has a slight little advantage, but the lead continues to grow here on lap 42. 3 seconds, the gap from first to second position. Alex Bell up into the top 3, got back to where he was starting this race out. He actually started back in the 5th position, but very early had taken over the top 3. He has Eric Hutton right behind him. Seth Hatchell, Jerry Bergeron, who I believe is being scored 13 laps down here. There's Caleb Weekly just trying to salvage the day in 25th on the outside here, letting him by. It's back here for the 20th position, Mark Whitley. Noah Mahalski. Remember, Mahalski caught up in one of the very first incidents of the night. Currently being scored in the 17th position as Matthew Rafford will come down pit road. Looking back on the action on track, it looks like a move there from Ortega didn't quite work out. But we'll carry on here on lap 43 with Ben Bafford, your leader. Quick commercial break here on V-Speed. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors. More coverage will continue from Indianapolis right after this.
What's up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back, he's gonna send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're gonna. Sean Banks is gonna win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to B-Speed and subscribe to them because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Lap traffic out of the way. It's between these two. They're even for the white flag lap.
This race still very undecided.
Bradley had the lift. Big run for McWhorter. This is going to be his chance.
They're running out of time, and they know it.
Horsepower at their feet. That was a huge run for Bradley. He got back the advantage, but here comes a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, they put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash. Here comes Ray Massey. Ray Massey's going to win it.
Racing enthusiasts, are you ready to take your sim racing experience to the next level? Look no further because 29 Graphics has got you covered. Introducing 29 Graphics, the premier provider of high-quality sim racing wraps. Whether you're a professional racer or weekend warrior, our custom design wraps will make your car stand out from the competition. 29 Graphics is now the official graphics design partner of Saturday Night Racing League.
It's a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, they put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash.
Contact 29 Graphics on their Discord or the link in the video description.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Welcome back here to Saturday Night Racing League. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. It's been a good one. It's had a rough start here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but Ben Baffert has been your leader. 5 cautions, 1 lead change. Got a few bookmarks to look back here. Reggie Ortega, of course, we've had a few cautions, but here's one that comes to mind. We look back here. Reggie Ortega, what appears to be, this is actually Jeff Wright, I believe, getting into Mark Whitley. We could go back and take a look at that. This was leaning on each other really hard through this exit. Whitley gets sent to the outside. And then just a moment ago, Jeff Wright, he gets by the 73 of Joseph McWhorter. So that'll put him up one spot, currently in the 10th position. But it's Ben Bafford that has dominated the day. Weather on the racetrack, 127 degrees, so it is very slick, very greasy. 83 degrees, the ambient air temperature. This track has continued to rubber up. Very spread out. AJ Stravado in second position, but we still have green flag pit stops for these guys up here in the top 5. Alec Martinez, Brian Chambliss, a lot of these guys up here from probably, I would say, 7th position on up are going to have to come down pit road one more time. Makes me question if Jeff Wright, McWhorter, or any of these other drivers can make it to the very end of this race. A lot of these drivers have pushed about 34, 35 laps on the stint. Ben Bafford coming down pit road now. This will put him right on the mark for halfway in this run. Definitely going to put 4 tires on that 14. Looks like a DQ Blizzard machine. Grill and Chill 14 down and away. AJ Stravado takes over the point now. He'll get his first lap led after starting in 6th position. He'll stay out another lap, continue on around. He has Austin Belkey. There's the 43 of Bryce Shoemaker just in front of him. Eric Hutton is about 7/10 behind here. So 43 moves up out of the way to let him by. Ryan Chambliss comes down pit road from the 6th position. Ryan Chambliss, the winner tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Challenger Series. We have yet to have anyone go back-to-back in the Challenger Series to the Cup Series. Quite a few drivers that have that opportunity, that run both and do double duty. Chambliss down and away. It looks like the 28 just beside him of Bobby Petrika, 9 laps down. He'll be out back off pit road. Max Koss coming in for service as well. Try to get a better angle on that 63-0. The 0 candy bar set 63. It's down and away now. A little bit of damage on the nose of that car, but 2 laps down trying to come back to it. Seth Hatchell, B-Speed, represented on the hood of that number 8. One of the drivers I met at this location. He's going to get 4 tires as well. Joe Spinelli. 4 tires and fuel for the 86. Having a pretty stellar day. Here comes AJ Stravado, what appears to be a pit stop now with the 88 of Hutton following in. Tina Martinez just behind Chris Hodges as well. And this will probably give the lead over to this guy right here, Jeff Wright. First time today, he'll cross the line in 3rd, but now takes over the point. Has ran away from Joseph McWhorter, 1.9 seconds now. Looking back here to Joseph McWhorter trying to chase him down. About a lap difference on tires. Jeff Wright, last time by, 0.3 faster than the 73, and that shows just the clean air has been king. It's been key to staying up front. McWhorter, who led the first 30 so laps, 33 to be exact, gave up the lead to Ben Baffert. Baffert has to come down pit road, and the question again arises, when does Jeff Wright and Joseph McWhorter have to come down? Probably within the next 10 to 15 laps, they're going to hit pit road. It's going to be really tight here for Jeff Wright and McWhorter if they can make it to the end of this race. I would say they're going to be a couple laps short. This is a stretch. Based off the numbers there for Ben Baffert, he came down about 30 laps into the run, and he's going to run it out to the very end of this thing. I think Baffert stands to win this race after starting on the pole, getting an EOL, going all the way to the back. Mathematically, if we stay green, the 14 has the best shot at getting this victory. Spoiler alert. Steve Tucker, I see up there in the chat. Too much racing. Well, we're trying to keep up with all of it, but there's so much going on this racetrack. It's so spread out. I'm up here solo in the booth tonight. And you can see back here with Taylor Butcher Benjamin coming back down pit road. Eddie Trejo, Alec Martinez just behind that. Austin Belkey in the 89. The 9 of Chambliss is outside of the top 10. Talking about 27 seconds back from the lead. McWhorter almost 3 seconds back, but again, they have to come down pit road, and if you've been keeping tabs on the length that these drivers can go, it's going to be really close. I don't think they can stretch it this far, but I've been wrong before. Very loose machine on the 73. Baffert catching up to him. Just 1 second back for the 14 car. Looks like the second spot could change hands here very shortly. The big advantage on tires. Baffert 4 seconds back from Jeff Wright. And about a second faster than both these cars in front of him. Almost 2 seconds faster that time by. A 57.226 for Jeff Wright. A 55.688 for Ben Baffert. He is caught up to McWhorter here down the backstretch. He'll go to the inside and pass for second. Jeff Wright getting insides there from Taylor Butcher Benjamin in 19th. He'll get one of his laps back here. Back on the lead lap now. Dakota Floyd will be the first car a lap down as he continues to chase. He's got fresher tires than Ben Baffert, and so he'll have a little bit of an advantage. He could get his lap back here. The 57. Started 26, not the way he wanted this race to go. He was up in the top 10 briefly But Floyd just trying to get back on the lead lap in case a caution comes out. He would get the lucky dog, or a free pass rather. Probably a copyright on that somewhere. Renee Hasp out there in the chat, shouting out to the 97. This is Matthew Rafford, currently in the 22nd position, starting in 41st. Radford leading the points in the Challenger Series. Has a top 20 here in the Cup. But an off day here for the 97 team. Looking back here to Alec Martinez into the top 10. Didn't know if he was going to race tonight. Mark Whitley down pit road now. So this confirms that these drivers probably aren't going to make it to the end of this race. He was one of those cars that stayed out there. He was 23 laps on the stint. Now it's just a question of when does Jeff Wright come in? Probably about the time. Yeah, I was going to say about the time that the 14 catches up to him. They'll lock it down and get it on pit road, but that was very, very close. McWhorter just behind him. "20 laps to go. Baffert looks like he can stay out all the way through this race. Was talking earlier about how it looked like the 14 could lock this thing up. He pitted 30 laps into his stint. He has 30 laps that he's going to run on this one. He's miles ahead of Alex Bell in the second spot. Bell looks like he might be a little bit short on fuel here. I'd have to question that. On this over 2 mile raceway, 30 laps is a stretch. But Bell could very well turn his season around. He's 20th in the points here today. So bring those up quickly on your screen. Banks, who isn't here tonight. Mark Whitley, who's had some problems. Second in the points. Eric Hutton, third. Then it goes back to Jeff Wright, who just had to come down pit road. Probably not going to get a top 5 day for the 48 team unless we have a caution to bail him out. Then it goes all the way down to Eddie Trejo, who had problems earlier in this race. It's been very eventful. A lot of things happened very early on. A few of the key drivers got caught up in some things. People that probably stood to have a good finish, like Noah Mahalski, very, very early in this race, got caught up in a crash. Still hasn't repaired all of that damage. The 13 of Caleb Weekly still out there. The 43 as well of Bryce Shoemaker. He's heavily damaged. So a lot of drivers outside looking in pretty much from the start of this thing. And we had pretty much a parking lot on lap 30 down the front stretch during one of these restarts. So it put us in a weird situation with the strategy. Ben Baffert was able to figure it out. Here's Dakota Floyd trying to get one of those laps back now. Reggie Ortega will go to the inside, 31 into the outside wall there. Keith Shoemaker just a little bit of damage there from that, but here comes Reggie Ortega to get his position back, puts Dakota Floyd back as the free pass position. Is he going to be able to get back around the 14? He had a chance, and Ortega took advantage of it. Got to the inside. Not sure what went wrong there. This time looks like a good run out of 2. They'll get side by side with the 14, who, again, is just miles ahead. Seth Hatchell takes over the second spot. There's AJ Stravato. Eddie Trejo back here, 14 laps on this stint. The car that was up there a moment ago, Alex Bell, he had to come down pit road. So now I'm starting to question, 13 laps into the stint. Bafford's been out there grafting, trying to save fuel. But I think the 14 can make it to the end of this race. 15 laps left now. I think he's good to go. Bell on fresher tires could probably catch up to Taylor Butcher Benjamin just ahead of him. But then it's even further up here. You see a battle between Spinelli and Whitley. Spinelli checks out big time there on that move. Falls back to 13. Big moment there for Spinelli. Now he's running a little bit higher line here. He sees the 77 go to the inside, just gets a little tight, lifts off the throttle. Bafford is definitely drafting with the 57. So this could even seal the deal. We'll take a look on board to see if he's saving any fuel. I don't believe he is. All the way on the throttle here through the exit 2. There's Rafford on the bottom. Actually, that's Brian Hennings in the 74. Hennings scored 3 laps down in 25th spot. Not the worst that it could be better. I know he got some damage, still has some of that from the earlier cautions, and it was kind of hard to escape it. Trying to continue on. Battle on the racetrack here. Jeff Wright to the inside of Jeremy Miller. This is for 9th. Wright has 11 lap pressure tires in the top 10. How much of a difference is that going to make? Can he get back to the top 5? Based off of the math here, that's going to be tough to do. I know he's a second faster than Hodges and Chambliss and a few others in front of him, but talking about over 5 seconds to catch up just to Hodges. And an additional 2 seconds to catch up to Chambliss. Then it's Trejo, another 6. Martinez, 11 on top of that. That's over 20 seconds that Jeff Wright has to catch up here. Martinez on the other side of the racetrack going into turn 2. Turn 1, actually. I don't see it happening. Turn 4. I don't even know where he is on the racetrack. He's just in another time zone compared to some of the guys that would have been in a better boat, had the strategy and the cautions not fallen the way they did. So trying to sort this all out. All I can say is that Ben Bafford, most likely without a yellow, is going to win this race. So through your top 10, we've got Bafford, Hatchell, Stravado, Hutton, Martinez, Trejo, Chambliss, Hodges, Wright, and Miller. Hodges still a solid 2.5 seconds ahead, looking like the 25 team, labeled as the 51. Could very easily turn out with a victory as compared to where he started this race. A lot of spots gained, 13. Chambliss, 18 spots. If you want to get technical, Bafford has had to gain the most, but the one labeled as the most is right here with Eddie Trejo. It's really close. I'd actually argue that Austin Belke What a big field. For 18th, he's gained 25 spots here. And the number 89, looking like a top 20 day. But mid-pack here for the 89, and he'll be the first car a lap down as Dakota Floyd remains on the lead lap just ahead of the 14 of Ben Baffert. Trying to hang with him, keep the draft is the 14. In laps to go when they cross the line this time around. If a yellow comes out, we're looking somewhere between the top 10, all about 20 laps on the stint. I would venture to say Jeff Wright would stay out. He's only 9 laps out on this racetrack, but we have 4 tire sets over the wall, and a lot of these drivers electing not to take those, so there's plenty of tires to go around. I would argue that everybody, at least in the top 15, would come down and make pit stops. That would be my personal drive. No matter where I am, if I'm in the top 15, I'm going to come down to get 4 tires, because you know the guys that are outside of that are going to come in. Unfortunately for Belkey, Davis, and a few others, you're looking back here deep in the field, they're all a lap down. They stand to get a free pass position and get back on the lead lap, but they're going to have to make their bed and lay in it. All they can do is pray for another yellow once they get back on that lead lap to have a chance at some fresh tires. Belkey probably not in the same boat. He could pit because of that lucky pass that he'll have. That free pass position. 1 lap down, first car a lap down. So he will have 4 fresh ones. He could stand to gain a little bit, but I think everybody here has the strategy down. If this race stays green, though, it's been Baffert's race to lose. He would have to make a dire mistake. I don't see that happening, as we'll check in with some of the other drivers that have tough days. The 28 of Bobby Petrika, right on board with him here briefly. We talked to him last week, and he was up there towards the top 10. This week, not the case, 31st, and just taking away the laps. There's a few drivers in front of him, though, Kyle Peacock and Philip Brewer, that are out of the race. He probably stands to gain 1 more spot and finish here in 30th. Philip Brewer is only 14 laps down, so Peacock 21 down, Petrika 23. We've got enough laps there for 1 more position gain. And he's one of our few driver cams left here out on the racetrack. Another one here goes to the 99 of Brandon Wallace. He's 31 laps down, and he's coming back down pit road here. He's actually a little bit off on the whole strategy. He was one of the drivers that pit because of damage and had to get some of that repaired. 34th position here for Brandon Wallace as he'll go down and away. He's actually getting some more of that repaired. A quick look there on board with the 99. Seven laps to go, crossing the stripe for Ben Baffert. Seth Hatchell has brought the lead down a little bit. He has AJ Stravato just behind him. Is Eric Hutton. Second through 4th position, very close together as we see a battle for second. Defense on the outside for Hatchell. Still a battle for the top 3 and the podium finishers. Hatchell is able to defend it there out of turn 2. He'll hold on for 1 more lap at least, as the 33 has to go back to the drawing board. Was a good run there out of turn 1 to set up that pass. Not able to complete it and falls back about 2/10. He'll try again here down the front stretch. On board with the 33. 4 laps led here for AJ Stravato in a top 5 car. He drove it well. He'll continue to tick the laps away. Race number 3 for the Saturday Night Racing League. Cleaned up tremendously here. First half of this race, a little rough. Ben Baffert is getting ready to take the 5 to go signal. Eric Hutton is gaining a little bit on this pack or group in front of him, racing side by side. A little bit faster, but Hatchell, he's trying to pick up the laps. Let's see what it is this time by. Out of turn 4, they pull about a 10th off of Hutton. And it looks like AJ Stravato is going to attempt another pass into turn 1. Not able to get it this time as well. The pinch down there on the entry. He falls back in line. Hatchell doing an excellent job there on defense. Ryan Chambliss finds himself right behind Eddie Trejo. This is for the 7th position. Less than a 10th separate these two drivers. But again, it is so difficult to pass here tonight. Chris Hodges there in the mix as well. Looking like a top 10 day here for the 25, labeled as the 51 on track. He might beat Joseph McWhorter, and we talked to McWhorter earlier in this race. He was wanting to turn this race back around, get a top 5, turn the season around, rather. Might be a top 10 day, but very far out of reach. Jeff Wright, he's worked his way up to 6th position now, 5 seconds back from Alec Martinez, and we cross the line for 4 laps to go. It is a 5.7 second difference back to Seth Hatchell. AJ Stravato has fallen off the pace a little bit now. He might make one last ditch effort. We'll have to wait and see. Baffert has to come down pit road. He's not going to make it. And so that changes everything that I said. Baffert ran 30 laps, but some of those were caution laps. Now this has been all under green. It's only been 26. And Baffert is going to be 3 laps shy, and that'll hand the lead over to Seth Hatchell. He's on 25 laps. Can he make it to the end of this race? The math here is not mathing for a lot of this field. Stravato, Hutton, all about a lap separated. 25 for Hatchell, 24 and 24 for Stravato and Hutton. Martinez also on 24. Jeff Wright, 17 laps. He can make it to the end of this race. Is Jeff Wright going to have a sneak away victory with 3 laps left? He's going to stay out one more time for Seth Hatchell. This is going to be a long battle. 3-way for the lead. Hutton has now started to push the issue. 2 to go. No one making an attempt just yet. Stravato tried a couple times there earlier. He's been getting good runs out of the exit of 1 and 3. He's going to have a good run out of 2. Decent enough there with the draft, but backs up the corner entry. The 14 of Baffert just misses the strategy here. Had to come down pit road 26 laps ago. Comes down again. And he's going to be shy of finishing this race. White flag in the air. Seth Hatchell is committed to the end of this race. 27 laps on the stint. Is he running out of fuel? Here goes a push from the 33 of Stravato. Hutton backs it up big time there. Alec Martinez is 11 seconds back. It is amongst the top 3 that you see on your screen. If Stravado and Hatchell get into it, Hutton could definitely stand to gain something. Again, another try here. Into 3. Stravado overshoots it a little bit. He'll try it one more time through turn 4. Last time around. And it's not going to be enough. And for another time here in Saturday Night Racing League, Seth Hatchell is going to have... He ran out of fuel! He ran out of fuel out of turn 4, and the winner is AJ Stravado. Unbelievable finish here at Indianapolis. Seth Hatchell is going to end up with 3rd spot. Stravado kept the pressure on Hatchell the entire run. Hatchell not able to save enough and runs out just 500 feet shy of the finish line. Adding his list to the winners of this 3rd season, AJ Stravado. What a deal there. Post-race interviews with your top 3. Final results going to come out right after this. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series on V-Speed. A surprise victory here for AJ Stravado after the 14, who I thought had it wrapped up with Ben Baffert, has to come down pit road. Seth Hatchell runs out of fuel out of the final corner, and AJ Stravado has just enough and more to burn it down on the front stretch. More coverage. We're going to round up that top 3 right after this. Back here live at Indianapolis. The Cup Series has concluded their 80 laps. Phenomenal finish here today. What became a fuel strategy race with all the cautions and the lead changes. Coming in the first half for the cautions, the second half for those lead changes. Final results up on the screen. 6 of those lead changes, 5 of those of which came in the last 40 laps. AJ Stravado, after starting 6th, and running down Seth Hatchell, putting the pressure on him, runs him out of fuel. He'll get the victory. He held pace right there with your leader. Eric Hutton will get 2nd, Seth Hatchell 3rd. Alec Martinez representing V-Speed out there as well in 4th. Jeff Wright, a top 5 day for him. Joseph McWhorter just behind the 48. He'll finish in 6th. Brian Chambliss, winner in the Charlotte. He'll get 7th. Alex Bell, top 10 for him. And 8th, Chris Hodges. Excellent day there for the 25 team. He'll get 9th. And Mark Whitley rounds out the top 10. 11th goes to the 30 machine of Jeremy Miller. Ben Baffert back to 12th. Reggie Ortega 13th. Taylor Butcher Benjamin will get a 14th position. Dakota Floyd 15th. Joe Spinelli 16th. Austin Belkey 1 lap down. He'll finish in 17th position. 18th goes to Stephon Davis. Eddie Trejo 19th. And Matthew Rafford will round out your top 20. Keith Shoemaker, Noah Mahalski, Bryce Shoemaker in 23rd. Max Koss, Brian Hennings, Caleb Weekly, Benjamin Richards, Jerry Bergeron, Philip Brewer, Casey Lakatos, and we have 13 more cars, believe it or not. Bobby Petrica, a lot of these cars damaged. Banks actually out there on the racetrack there briefly. I want to be honest with you, I never saw the 35 out there. He'll finish 25 laps down. He had major issues. I'm going to be quite honest. I apologize to Joshua Banks, but you usually see him up there in the top 10 at the least, and problems for the 35. Kyle Peacock, 33rd. Brandon Wallace, 34th. Ryan Carwile, 35th. Mark McFadden, 36th. 37th, Chad Klinger. Chuck Sweeting, Logan Threlkeld, and Morgan Cook. And our final 3 cars go to Michael Jones, Ray Massey, and Angela Huronis, who was caught up in the first accident of the night for the 29 team. But that brings us to our post-race interviews, and the first guy I got to pull up here, man, Seth, I got to tell you, it looked like you had this one in the bag. You come out of turn 4 and just, 500 feet to 1,000 feet shy of the finish line, this car ran out of fuel.
Yeah, definitely really disappointing. We all knew it was going to be close on fuel, and I knew pitting a lap before AJ and Eric there that I was going to be close, and I knew I was right on the bubble most of that last run, so was sort of just trying to balance saving fuel versus AJ catching me there. And we side by side a couple times, was able to fend him off, and then those last couple laps, I was all but stopping in turns 1 and 3 trying to save fuel, but still keeping behind me. But ultimately came up short. But a good race. Had a couple rough finishes the last couple of weeks, so nice to have a good finish here. But definitely was going for the win.
Well, Seth, you had a car and the strategy. We'll talk a little bit about the beginning of the race. It was rough, but you were able to avoid a lot of the carnage, keep your car in a position. You started in 8th. It really didn't matter where you were on this racetrack. Something happened around you.
Yeah, it seemed like it. I know that big wreck we had on one of the restarts. I can't remember around what lap, but I got real lucky. It seemed like it took out pretty much the whole field behind me. So, was avoiding wrecks for the first part of the race, and we didn't really know how the strategy was going to play out. I think I pit stop before a lot of the front guys ended up pitting, and that sort of set up the rest of the race after we had that big caution. But I don't know how my pace probably wasn't the greatest, compared to Jeff up there and some of the other guys. But I definitely like to play strategy, so was happy to have that work out and sort of look ahead and see what I needed to do to, go for the win there.
Well, Seth, I know that this is going to go down as one of those that you're going to remember for at least a week and what could have been. But I know you get a lot of people out there that support you. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Bradley, for doing a great job with the broadcast and the V-Speed brand as a whole. Got to thank Jeff and all the admins here at SNR doing a great job putting on a great league for us to put on great racing like this for everybody to watch at home. Got to thank all the sponsors that hop on board for this league. Got to thank all the drivers putting on a great race tonight. And got to thank my team V-Speed.
Well, we thank you for that, and we thank you for your time. Seth Hatchell, 3rd place here tonight at Indianapolis. That'll move us up. Excuse me, starting to lose my voice, a little double time here, and doing it all by myself here tonight. Eric Hutton, I got to bring him up into the booth. Eric, you know what? I've lost my voice. You've been commentating before. You know what to do. Just go ahead and take it from here.
Yeah, the race was great. Rough start in the beginning. A lot of cautions, but we made it through. Got lucky on a fuel strategy, just kind of blindly doing what cars from me were doing, and somehow, some way, ended up 2nd.
Well, I got my voice back now, so I'll go ahead and ask you a question. The Canes Chevrolet Camaro was running probably a top 5 day, I would have to say, guaranteed. But with the strategy and the way everything shook out, one more car runs out of gas, you win this race.
Yeah, definitely needed a long run, I think, for the speed for me. But yeah, we were talking about it. I didn't think Seth was gonna make it. Then coming out of turn 2 or turn 4, it was like, well, oh darn! And I saw the flames out the pipes, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a crazy finish. So feel sorry for him, man. It's a tough way to lose, but he was driving like just a perfect race, and me and AJ were doing everything we could behind him, but just ended up right in our hands.
Yeah, it's one of those single group racetracks. We talked to a few guys during some of those cautions. How difficult was it to kind of dodge the carnage at the start of this thing?
Yeah, thankfully most of it was behind me for the most part. But yeah, it's just tough to go side by side because you lose so much momentum, and then you're just going to lose even more spots. So guys just fighting everything they can and pinching guys down. But felt like the setup was really good tonight. So shout out to whoever made that setup. But it was allowed you to really drive it. You can drive off the front and rear, and ton of fun. But so overall, after a rough start, it was a good race.
With that, Eric, I know that a lot of people are also supporting you and your teammate there just in front of you, but anybody you'd like to shout out here for tonight's race?
Yeah, I just appreciate everybody running the league, putting on a fun league, great car accounts. So it's good to see. Appreciate Angelo and AJ and my team there racing tonight. Just a lot of fun.
Eric Hutt in second place here today at Indianapolis. We look forward to seeing you next week, buddy.
All right, we'll see you then.
Finally, that brings us to victory lane and what could be considered the swipe here from AJ Stravato. You led a couple laps here today, but and nothing was guaranteed. You didn't know. I mean, you're gambling the whole time here on the strategy. You guys pushed it about as close as you could on fuel. You had a little bit more of an advantage there on Seth Hatchell because you were drafting for so long. Was that part of the plan before you started trying to make moves, or were you just not able to get around him?
Oh, hell no. I was trying to everything in my power to just put pressure on him and get around Seth. But Seth is a really good driver, so it's hard to get around him even with a lap fresher tires that we had. We got to him and just couldn't match him getting out of 2 and 4. Every time we had such a good run, he just matched it. And honestly, he just drove a really great race. But we were just over a lap to the good right there, and we saw Seth pit early. So my goal was to just get to Seth and put as much pressure as I could on him. And it ended up working out. I've never won a race like that coming out of turn 4 with somebody running out. So that was pretty cool. And to have Eric come home right behind us in second, that was a great 1-2 teammate finish.
When I can tell you this, AJ, you kept the pressure on him, and I mentioned that's probably what you were trying to do. You ran him out of fuel, essentially. I mean, with the last 1,000 feet of this racetrack, you come off at turn 4, you see the flames out of the pipes. How happy could you be about that situation?
Me and Eric, like, we literally said getting out of turn 4 at the same time. Like, I was sliding, doing everything I could, and we both said, like, damn. And as soon as we, like, finished that and, like, I pulled out, Seth, like, we saw the flames and we're like, no shot. And after that, we were pretty happy. We were celebrating. That was a really cool way to finish a race that, ran really well at the end there. So just happy to bring home a win.
Yeah, and a race that, started out with a lot of carnage, a lot of rough spots in it. You guys go long and run the remaining half of the race under green, and then it comes down to fuel strategy. What could have been a race that, could have been just survival, it really came down to just keeping your wits about you.
Yeah, that's what it came down to, and I'm glad we were able to, me, Seth, Eric, and the rest of the guys up front, we ran each other hard but clean, so that was a lot of fun, and look forward to, future races with the guys up front.
Well, AJ, I know you got people to thank, so we'll get on to that and go ahead and shout them out.
Yeah, just all the league admins for making it happen. 29 Graphics for, I believe, sponsoring the league. I think Matt Code Tools and a couple others. And my road team, Project Valorous, and my oval team, Nexus Esports. Good to get Project Valorous in victory lane. And hopefully we'll do the same next week at Indy 6 Hours.
Victorious here in race number 3, adding himself to the list. A very short list so far, but AJ, you've, I believe, claimed a victory in all 3 seasons here at SNR.
Hell yeah. It's a great league and running, so good stat to have.
So there he is, victorious here tonight at Indianapolis. It's been a good one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Everybody out there in the chat, I saw all the messages here. Never doubt the V-Speed odds, Jeff Wright says, and he would be correct because we're pretty on top of things when it comes to statistics. However, we still have a lot of racing left to be done. Schedule up on your screen. It's on to Watkins Glen next week, 14th of September. Hope you guys can join us for that. And then it's off for 1 week there on the 21st, back to Kansas Speedway for the remaining portion of September in the Cup Series. We'll also have another race there at Martinsville in the Challenger Series, so hope you guys can join us there at 8 p.m. and then 10 p.m. here for Saturday night racing. We have a lot more racing scheduled on V-Speed as well. We'll have the Sunoco Cup Series for the first race of the playoffs. Hope you guys can join us there as well at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But for everybody here at V-Speed, Anna Baker, Morgan Cook, Eddie Smith, Logan Threlkeld, Christian Hill, our producers, this is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week. On behalf of Connor Horn and everybody at V-Speed, take care, everybody.